أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. In the previous lesson, we examined at a basic level the past tense verb, al-fi'l al-madi. We examined some common forms, and that in Arabic the most common form for the past tense verb is fa'ala. That indicates that you have an action here that took place in the past. Now if we go to page 16, we will examine al-fi'l al-mudari'. Page 16, you will find at the bottom of the page, under heading number 2, is where we will be discussing al-fi'l al-mudari'. What is the fi'l al-mudari'? Al-fi'l al-mudari' is any verb in Arabic that is used for present tense or the future. So whenever you have an action that is taking place now or will take place in the future, it is called mudari'. In English, we also call it a present tense imperfect verb. So mudari' is basically a present tense imperfect verb. Whenever you have a verb that is taking place now, an action that is taking place now or in the future, we call this mudari'. Let's look at some examples here for us to be more familiar with the present tense verb, with fi'l al-mudari', before we continue with future lessons, and we will examine features of al-fi'l al-mudari', how it works, and we dissect al-fi'l al-mudari' in terms of Arabic grammar. But for now, let's just be familiar with al-fi'l al-mudari'. So al-fi'l al-mudari' is any verb that is occurring now or will occur in the future. Let's write some of these examples here. The first example that we have is أغسل يدي. What does أغسل mean? Wash. أغسل يدي. أغسل means wash. يدي means hands. Or أغسل يدي. You could say just my hand or my hands. Now we only have two hands, right? But you could still say my hands. أغسل يدي. Let's look at the second example. ألبس ثيابي. What does ألبس mean? To wear. I wear, to wear. What does ثيابي mean? Clothes. Clothes, so I wear my clothes. Now, if you look at these two verbs, the verbs that we have is أغسل and ألبس. If you look at these verbs here, let's try to compare them with the past tense verb, فعل الماضي, to see some primary differences, some general differences between فعل الماضي, the past tense verb, and فعل المضارع, the present tense verb. So if I want to say أغسل in the past tense, what would I say? I washed my hands. What would I say? غسلت. What about ألبس if I want to make it past tense? What do I say? لبست. We see some differences here. Now, what is the root word of غسل? It's غسل. And what's the root word of لبس? This is the root word without adding any pronouns to it, without it being attached to any subject. This is the root word here, right? Without it being present in the past, in the future, this is the root word. If you compare al-fi'l al-madi with al-fi'l al-mudari', you will notice several differences. Number one, when it comes to fi'l al-mudari', the present tense, where are you putting the pronoun that indicates who's doing it? You're doing it before the verb, right? أغسل, أنا, I wash. Now, if you want to say we wash, what would you say? نغسل. We'll talk about this in the future. Don't worry about it for now. The pronouns, we'll discuss the pronouns later. If I want to say I wash, you wash, he washes, she washes, we wash, they wash, we have pronouns for that. But here's the general idea. Whenever you see a verb and there's a pronoun attached to it, if the pronoun I, which here is the alif, أغسل, if the pronoun comes before the verb, before the word, before the root word, that is an indication that what type of verb is this? What kind of verb is this?
Present.
It's a present tense verb. Whereas when you look at the past tense verb, غسلت, where is the pronoun being attached? At the end of the word. You see that difference? See over here, we both have غسل, which is the root word, and غسل. This one here has the alif before it, which indicates I am the one who's washing. This one has the ta, which is also referring to me. That's a pronoun in the Arabic language. غسلت أنا, I'm the one who washed. We have it after غسل, right? It's after, it's not before. Before غسل, there's nothing. What does that indicate? This indicates that whenever you're dealing with a present tense verb, which is فعل المضارع, you will find the pronoun, in Arabic, what do we call the pronoun? ضمير. We'll talk about this in the future. This is just to give you the basic idea now. You will find the pronoun before the word. Whereas when it comes to the past tense verb, which we discussed in the previous lesson, you will find the pronoun where?
At the end.
At the end of the word. That's one way to distinguish between al-fi'l al-madi and al-fi'l al-mudari'. Let's give some more examples to clarify this. So, someone give me a verb, a past tense verb. Any verb in Arabic. أكلت. Or give me a more simple one where you're referring to another person who ate. أكل. Right? أكل means, أكلت is I ate. أكل is he ate. أكل. Now change that to present tense. Whether you're eating or let's say he eats. How would you say it? يأكل. When you make it into present tense, it becomes يأكل. Now the ya in Arabic is a pronoun that indicates you're talking about a third person male. He. He is the one who eats, who's eating. Now when this فعل المضارع over here, where is the pronoun attached to it? Before it or after it?
Before.
Before it. Whereas if you look at the past tense verb, أكلت, أكل, that alif which indicates the pronoun, where is it being attached? Before or after?
Before.
Not before.
But after.
It's after. See? It's the ta. أكل, أكلت, أكلنا. Because that alif that you see there, أكلت, that's part of the word itself. That's why you have it here. يأكل, right? This alif is part of the word. This alif that you see here, it's part of the word. So over there, أكلت, أكل. Right? That's how you make it past tense, and that's how you make it present tense. Let's give some more examples so we can clarify this. Now, baby, because this one had the alif, it could be a little bit confusing for now. Let's choose a word that has no alif. Give me a simpler verb.
Darasa.
Darasa. What does darasa mean?
Study.
Study. So the word darasa. Okay, if you want to say, I studied, how would you say it? Darastu, for the past. Darastu. Okay, now, what is the mudara of it, the present tense? Adrusu. Over here, darastu. Where is the pronoun? It's this one here, right? It's at the end. Over here, adrusu. Where's the pronoun? In the beginning, the alif. That's one way to quickly distinguish between a present tense verb and a past tense verb, between the madi and the mudara. The madi, usually the pronoun, you'll find it at the end of the word. Whereas when you look at the fi'l al-mudari', the present tense verb, you will find the pronoun where? In the beginning of the word. That's one way to distinguish. So let's look at the examples here in the book. أغسل يدي ألبس ثيابي ينبح الكلب. What does ينبح mean?
To bark.
To bark. Now what is the root word of ينبح?
Nabaha.
Nabaha, right? So where's the pronoun in ينبح?
At the beginning.
The beginning. And what is it? Ya. So if you're talking about yourself, you would use which pronoun? Alif. أغسل. If you're talking about a third person or object, what would you say? Ya. ينبح. يأكل. يشرب. يدرس. Right? Let's look at number 3 on the following page, page 17. You see number 3? Someone read us number 3. Looks like it's out of order, but look at number 3.
نلعب بالكرة.
نلعب بالكرة. نلعب.
We play.
We play. That noon is the pronoun which indicates we. It comes in the beginning of the verb, of the mudara. نمشي في الحقول. What does نمشي mean? We walk. تأكل البنت. What does تأكل mean? She eats. That ta is referring to she. تذبل الوردة. The flower withers. تذبل. What does تذبل mean? It withers. Now because warda in Arabic, which is a rose or the flower, it's feminine, we use the pronoun for a feminine. And that's why we say تذبل الوردة.
Means?
تذبل means it withers. When it withers. It dies out. When a withers, yeah. When a flower withers, we would say تذبل الوردة. So you see that al-fi'l al-mudari' over here, it starts with one of these 4 letters. Alif, if you're referring to who? Yourself. Noon, if you're referring to who? We, us. Ya, if you're referring to who? Him. He. And what else do you have? The ta, if you're referring to?
She.
For example, you're referring to a female, a she. So every fi'l al-mudari' starts with one of these letters. Whenever you see a verb that is starting with one of these letters, automatically know that what type of fi'l, verb are you dealing with? Mudari'. So this is one way to distinguish al-fi'l al-mudari'. It's any verb that starts with one of these four letters. Alif, ya, ta, noon. Automatically know this is a mudari' verb. Yes.
Sentence number 6, are there two zamirs or it's a part of the word?
Okay, so number 6, let's read it. يَنْتَبِهُ الْحَارِسُ. يَنْتَبِه means what? He wakes up. He becomes aware. Al-Haris means the guard. Or the security, officer. Now, يَنْتَبِهُ starts with what letter? Ya. Ya refers to who? He. So we're talking about a male subject here. And انتبه, ينتبه is the word. ينتبه الحارس. Now that ha is part of the word. ينتبه الحارس.
So the root word is nabaha.
Nabaha is the root word, yes. So that ha is not a pronoun. It's not a dhamir. It's just part of the word. Part of the root word. And we attach the ya to make it fi'l al-mudari'. So this is one feature of al-fi'l al-mudari' that you will find. And this is what differentiates it from al-fi'l al-madi. Is this clear? Any questions about this, or should we give more examples? Should we give some more examples, or this is clear? It's clear? Okay. Another feature that you will find when it comes to al-fi'l al-mudari' is that al-fi'l al-mudari' is marfu'. What does marfu' mean? It means it always ends with the dhamma. It ends with the dhamma. So any verb, give me any verb that is mudari', present tense, you'll find it ends with a dhamma. Give me some examples. Someone give me fi'l al-mudari'. Yajlisu. What does yajlisu mean? Yajlisu. You see the dhamma? The dhamma is on the word itself. Because the root word is jalasa. So you see there's a dhamma. Every fi'l al-mudari' ends with a dhamma. That's one way to indicate that this is fi'l al-mudari'. It has a dhamma. And for you to be able to speak Arabic properly, you have to bring the dhamma. Now in our normal Arabic that we speak, we don't have to say it. Some people even change it. You could just say yajlis. But in Arabic, it's yajlisu. That is the indication that this is fi'l al-mudari'. It's marfu'. Marfu' means it has the dhamma. It has this vowel. We call it a small o. That's the dhamma. Give me some other fi'l al-mudari' verbs. Yal'abu. What does it end with? The dhamma. You see, fi'l al-mudari' always ends with a dhamma. In normal cases. There are some cases where this could change. But in a normal state, it ends with a dhamma. Fi'l al-madi, what does it end with usually?
Ends with a pronoun.
It ends with a pronoun. But let's not talk about the pronoun. If we look at the word itself. So like darasa, jalasa, la'aba. What does it end with? Ends with a fatha. So yajlisu is jalasa if you want to make it madi. Jalasa, la'aba. What else? Give me another verb. Daraba, which means to hit. Now jalasa means to sit. La'aba means he sat. La'aba means he played. And what does daraba mean? He hit. What is it ending with? A fatha. that vowel here. Let's call it the small a. So jalasa, la'iba, daraba. It's all ending with a fatha. That's an indication that this is what type of verb? Past tense verb. Now when you attach a pronoun to it, this dhamma here with darastu, or if you want to say jalastu, la'ibtu, darabtu, this pronoun has which haraka on it? It has the dhamma. This dhamma is for the pronoun. It's not for the word itself. That pronoun has a dhamma. So don't be thrown off and say, wait a minute, darastu, that also ends with a dhamma. Then that is fi'l mudari'. It's a present tense verb. Look at the word and see the dhamma is on which letter? Is it on a pronoun or on the actual letters of the word? If it's on the actual letters, like yal'abu, yajlisu, then you know this is mudari'. It's a present tense verb. But if it's on the pronoun like ta', what is that an indication of? That this dhamma is not really on the word itself. It's on the pronoun. So remove the pronoun. What do you get? Darasa. Once you remove the pronoun, it becomes darasa. Now you could say, but darasa and darastu, when you say darastu, there is no fatha. It's kind of like a consonant, right? Darastu. Why is that the case? Because when you attach a letter to darastu, you can no longer say the fatha. It's there, but you just can't say it. Can you say it with the fatha? Darasatu. It becomes very difficult. It's heavy on the tongue. Right? So really the fatha is there, but we just can't see it, or we don't pronounce it because we want to speak fluently. So these are some differences between al-fi'l al-madi and al-fi'l al-mudari'. Al-fi'l al-mudari' is marfu'. You always have the dhamma. And al-fi'l al-madi, you always have the fatha. Al-fi'l al-mudari', the pronoun comes when? Where does it come? Before the word. Fi'l al-mudari', the pronoun comes where? It comes fi'l al-madi, the past tense verb. The pronoun comes where? After the word. So these are some differences. We'll become more familiar with this. This is just a basic idea for now. Inshallah, we will become more familiar with how these verbs work. This is just to give you an overview. Yes?
فعل الماضي is always mansub?
فعل الماضي, we don't really call it mansub, even though it has the fatha. In Arabic, we call it mabni. It's fixed with the fatha. Mansub, we will discuss that. The maf'ul bihi is mansub. The direct object is mansub. So it has the fatha, but it's not technically called mansub. We'll discuss that later.
Okay.
It's called mabni.
And is mudari' marfu' or mabni ala raf?
Mudari' we could, usually the fa'il is called marfu', but the mudari' is mabni ala raf as well. We could also call it marfu'. Fi'l al-mudari' is also marfu' because it has the dhamma. So we will find here in page 17, the author is saying, al-kalimatul ula. You'll find the first word of every sentence. Aghsilu, albasu, yanbahu, yantabihu. These first words in the examples, كلها أفعال. They are verbs. Why? لأن كلا منها يدل على عمل في زمن خاص. Because each of them indicates that an action is happening. That's how we know it's a verb. Because an action is occurring. أغسلوا, wash, an act of washing. ألبسوا, to wear, an act of wearing. These are all verbs and acts. وَإِذَا تَدَبَّرْتَ هَذَا الزَّمَنِ. If you think about what the tense is, did it happen in the past, now, in the future? When you examine the timing of it, zaman means the timing. هذا الزمن الخاص, this particular timing, في كل منها, in each of these examples, وَجَدْتَهُ إِمَّا حَاضِرًا, you'll find it either it's present now, وَإِمَّا مُسْتَقْبَلًا, or it could be for the future. When you say, I wash my clothes, does it mean you're washing it now? Or it could be in an hour, right? I do my chores. Even in English, you could use that to describe the present or the future. So he says all these examples that we've given here, they're talking about something that's happening now or they're going to happen in the future. فَالْفِعْلُ أَغْسِلُ, the verb أغسل, يدل على حصول الغسل. It indicates that washing, غسل, occurred في الزمن الحاضر أو المستقبل. It occurred in the current time or it will happen in the future. زمن الحاضر means now. حاضر means the present tense, right now. مستقبل means what? The future. والفعل ألبس, when you look at the verb ألبس, يدل على حصول اللبس أو اللبس في الزمن الحاضر. It also indicates that the act of wearing your clothes is either happening now or it will happen in the future. Now all of these verbs, we call them مضارع, present tense verbs. Or in English sometimes we call them imperfect words because they're present tense verbs. Now in the final sentence in that paragraph, he says, if you look at the letter of each of those words, وَإِذَا نَظَرْتَ إِلَى الْحَرْفِ الْأَوَّلِ, what does harf mean? Letter. نَظَرْتَ means what? If you look at. If you look at the first letter in all of these verbs, you will find it's either وَجَدْتَهُ hamza, it's either alif, because alif is hamza. In Arabic, how do you refer to the alif? We call it hamza. So whenever you hear the word hamza, what does hamza mean? Alif. It means the alif, you know, that strong alif, where you have that little sign on it. See, this is just a plain alif. When you put that on it, this is called a hamza. So any alif like that is a hamza. So you'll find the first letter either a hamza, أو نونا, the letter N, أو ياء أو تاء. So فعل المضارع starts with one of these four letters, alif, ya, ta, or nun. That's a sign that this verb that you're dealing with is what? Is مضارع. And that's why we call these four letters أحرف المضارعة. These are the letters of a مضارع verb, of a present tense verb. So in Arabic we refer to these four letters as أحرف المضارعة because every present tense verb begins with them. Any questions about that? Now you'll find in the box under it, Al-Qa'ida, the general law. Basically that's what he's summarizing. That al-fi'l al-mudhari' is any verb that indicates an action that's taking place now or in the future, and it starts with one of these four letters. This is al-fi'l al-mudhari'. Any questions about al-fi'l al-mudhari'? Should we give some more examples, or for now we're kind of familiar with al-fi'l al-mudhari'? Should we give some more examples? Let's go through some more examples. What is the first verb that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed in the Quran? Iqra. What does it mean? Read. So let's deal with this verb. How do I say he read? Qara. By the way, why is the Quran called Quran? Because it's something that is read, right? That's the meaning of Quran. When you have something that is verbally read, you call it Quran. And that became the name of the Holy Quran. It comes from the word qara'a. Qara'a over here. What does it end with? With what kind of vowel ends with the fatha. That is an indication that this is what type of verb? Past tense verb. Now if you want to make this into mudara, you want to say I read. How would you say it? Aqra'u. If you want to say he reads, yaqra'u. She reads, taqra'u. They read, or we read, naqra'u. For the past tense verb, if I want to say he read is qara'a. If I want to say I read, what would you say? Qara'tu. She read. Qara'at. We read. Qara'na. Let's look at this word more closely. When you look at the past tense, qara'a, qara'tu, qara'at, qara'na. Where is the pronoun? In the beginning or the end of the word? We see that it's in the end of the word, right? What is that an indication of?
Past tense.
This is a past tense verb. That's why all of it starts with qaf. Qara'a, qara'tu, qara'at, qara'na. It does not start with any pronoun. You immediately start with the word itself. Let's look at the mudara', the present tense. Aqra'u, yaqra'u, taqra'u, naqra'u. First of all, how is the word ending? With what haraka? It's ending with the dhamma, right? Because fi'l al-mudara' usually ends with what? With a dhamma. That's one sign. Number two, where are you finding the pronouns?
Beginning.
Beginning or the end of the word? Beginning, see? That's the pronoun. The alif, the ya, the ta, the noon. Alif for aqra'u, ya for yaqra'u, ta for taqra'u, noon for naqra'u. So you are finding the pronoun in the beginning of the word. These four letters, alif, ya, ta, noon, are called the letters of mudara'a. The letters of a mudara' verb. Af'al al-mudara'a. The letters for a present tense verb. So this is one example that we worked with here. Is this clear?
Can you put the harakat on the
Yes.
column, please?
I can put the harakat. So that's qara'tu, this is qara'at, qara'na, aqra'u, yaqra'u, taqra'u, naqra'u.
Okay, so it's fatha, fatha, dhamma usually.
So it really depends on the word, but usually yes, it's yaf'alu.
Yeah.
Starts with a fatha, and then you have the fa, which is usually a consonant, right? There is no haraka on the fa. Yaf'alu. And then the third letter, it could be yaf'ulu, yaf'ilu, yaf'alu. That could change. Let's give some examples here. Can someone give me an example of yaf'alu? This one here. Yaqra'u. It's a fatha. Give me an example of yaf'ilu. Yajlisu. We see that now we have a kasra. It's still a mudara' verb. Same meaning, that it's happening in the present tense. However, it's yajlisu. So for example, here we have yajlisu. See, the kasra is here, under the lam. Yajlisu. That's one type of mudara'. We'll discuss that in the future. But for now, just know that it could be a kasra, it could be a fatha. يقرأ has a fatha on that letter, the middle letter of the root word. But this one has a kasra. You could have a dhamma. Can you give me an example of a dhamma? يقتل, which means he kills. يقتل. So the last letter is always a dhamma. The first letter is always a what? A fatha. This stays fixed all the time. The second letter is always what? A sukun, which is what? A consonant. It has no fatha. It's not a dhamma, it's not a kasra, it's not a fatha. That's the second letter. The third letter could vary. It could be a dhamma, it could be a kasra, it could be a fatha. What's the most common one? The fatha. The fatha is the most common one. Now let's not confuse ourselves too much with this. It could change. Just know that fi'l al-mudari' starts with one of these letters. Alif, ya, ta, noon. It starts with that. And it ends with a dhamma. For now, just know that. We'll get into the details later, inshallah. So is everything clear about al-fi'l al-mudari'? Remember, in this lesson, we're just trying to familiarize ourselves with al-fi'l al-mudari'. We're not really going into the depths of it, the different conditions and circumstances. Just at a basic level, just know that al-fi'l al-mudari' indicates an action that is happening now or in the future. Number one. Number two, it starts with one of these four letters. What are they? Alif, ya, ta, noon. And it ends with what kind of harakah? It ends with a dhamma. For now, that's all you need to know for now. Let's keep it at this basic level. Just for us to become familiar with fi'l al-mudari'. So that's fi'l al-mudari'. Any questions about fi'l al-mudari'? Or should we move on to the next type of verb? No questions? Okay. So on page 17, under heading number 3, we have fi'l al-amr. What does fi'l al-amr mean? It's a command. In English, what do we call it? An imperative, right? So with imperative verbs, what kind of verb are you talking about? Something that happened in the past? Something that's happening now? Something that's going to happen in the future? You're asking for that verb to happen, right? That's what an imperative means. That's what a command means. That you, as the speaker, as the one who's issuing the command, you want this action to happen. Obviously, not in the past, because the past is gone. So now or the future. So fi'l al-amr. Amrs mean command. You know, you could call it command or imperative. That's when you want to command someone. Now, the fi'l al-madi ends with a fatha. Jalasa. Fi'l al-mudari' ends with a dhamma. Yajlisu. Fi'l al-amr, in Arabic we call it majzoom. What does majzoom mean? Majzoom in English we call it jussive. Don't ask me where they got this word from, but in Arabic, when we say majzoom, if you want to translate that into English, it's called a jussive verb. Jussive means the ending of it has a sukoon on it. The ending of it is neither fatha, neither dhamma. Fatha is for which verb? We said madi. Fi'l al-madi, like jalasa, ends with a fatha. The dhamma is for which verb? Mudari', the present tense, yajlisu. We have a dhamma on it, right? So fi'l al-mudari', the present tense verb, we have a dhamma. فعل الأمر, how does it end? No fatha, no dhamma. It ends with a sukoon, which is a small circle that you see. It's a consonant. That's what majzoom means. So that's why if you want to tell someone, sit down, what do you tell them? Ijlis. Not ijlisu, ijlisa, ijlis. Give me some other verbs. For example, you want to tell someone, study. From darasa, yadrusu, you want to tell him, study. What would you say? Idrus. You see there's a sukoon on it. Okay, let's deal with another verb. Sharaba, shariba means what? He drank. Yashrabu means he drinks. You want to tell someone, drink. Ishrab. See? There's no dhamma, no fatha. Ishrab. You're stopping at the letter. It's like a consonant. There's no vowel at the end. This is the meaning of majzoom. When you stop at the end of a verb, at a letter, and you have that sukoon, that consonant, meaning there's no vowel, that means what? It's majzoom. That's the definition of jasiv. So whenever you hear jasiv in English, it means it's majzoom. What does majzoom mean? That the end has no fatha, no dhamma. It's a sukoon. Ijlis, udrus, ishrab, kul, eat, nam, sleep. You see? There is no vowel at the end. So this is one of the alamat, one of the signs of an imperative, of fi'l al-amr, of a verb that indicates a command.
What's the rule for that?
The qa'ada for what? Okay. قي أو في.
أو إذا أنت عم تقول حدا يعني أرى يرى ري or
Okay. So you would say ari. So without confusing you too much, in Arabic we have some commands, some imperatives with one single letter. Like the example that you mentioned is qi. Do you know this is a word in Arabic? It's a command. Or fi. That's a word. Fi biwa'dik. What does that mean? Keep your word. What is the origin of this word? The root word is wafa. The past tense is wafa. The present tense is yafi. The fi'l al-amr is fi. Why did that become fi? I don't want to confuse you at this point. There are a lot of rules involved as to why the ya will drop, the ya will fall, and you just end up with fi. Or qi. The word qi, what's the root word of it? Wiqaya. What does wiqaya mean? Like protection, right? So waqa is the past. Waqa. Yaqi. Qi. That's still an imperative. It's a command. But don't confuse yourself at this point. You know, why did it become qi and not like ijlis or ishrab? There are reasons. We'll discuss that in the future. But for now, don't confuse yourself. There are these types of commands. And there's a lot of laws as to why that happened. One reason is because the word starts with a vowel. Whenever in Arabic a word, in its root word, starts with a vowel, it gets tricky. And it ends with a vowel. Right? You only have one non-vowel here, which is the fa. Look at wafa, yafi. The ya and the ya are vowels. The waw and the alif are vowels. It's just the fa that's not a vowel. Once you get two vowels in a word, it gets trickier in Arabic. And hence, when you're making it a command, it becomes majzoom jasif, the vowels fall. And you're just left with what? With just the fa. So don't confuse yourselves at this point.
What does that word mean?
So fi wafa means to keep your promise, loyalty. Wafa means he kept his promise, or what was expected from him, he delivered it. You know, we say Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam, he had wafa, he had loyalty with Imam al-Hussein. Wafa means loyalty. So wafa means he was loyal. Yafi is right now he's being loyal, or he's delivering the amana. Fi means be loyal. Fi biwa'dik. You made a promise. Stick to your promise. Be loyal to your promise. Wiqaya means protection. Waqa, he protected. Yaqi, he's protecting now. Qi, protect. The word qi is in the Quran, but it's in the form of not singular. It's in the form of jam'. Does anyone remember the verse? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qu anfusakum. It's in the Quran. O people who believe, protect yourselves and your families. Now the waw is for the jam', for the plural. We'll discuss that in the future. How do you make a verb or a word plural? So it's the same qi, but qi is for singular. If you want to say you people protect, how would you say it? Qu. I know that sounds strange, but this is very interesting about the Arabic language. So this is fi'l al-amr. At this point, all you need to know that fi'l al-amr is a verb that means a command. It's an imperative, and the ending of it is majzoom. It's not a fatha, it's not a dhamma. At this point, that's all we need to know. The author at this point just wants us to be familiar with fi'l al-amr. Now the details of fi'l al-amr, we'll take that step by step. So don't be discouraged now and say, oh my God, all these rules and this is confusing. No, we're taking this step by step. All I want you to know for now is that fi'l al-madi is a past tense verb. It ends with a fatha. The pronoun comes where? The beginning or end of the word? No, fi'l al-madi, we're talking about the past. At the end. That's all you need to know. Nothing else. At this point, I don't expect that you know anything more than that, for the purpose of this course. Fi'l al-mudari' is what type of verb? Present tense verb. It starts with one of these four letters. Alif, ya, ta, noon. It ends with what haraka? With a dhamma. That's all you need to know. Don't confuse yourself with any extra things we've mentioned in order to explain this further. Fi'l al-amr is what type of verb? Command. We call it an imperative. What does it end with? Sukoon. What do you call that? When a verb or word ends with a sukoon, what do you call that? Majzoom, or jasif in English. That's all we need to know. For the purpose of this course, so far all the author wants us to know for now is what I've just mentioned right now. What I mentioned, is that complicated, or this is simple and easy to understand? Is it clear to anyone, to everyone? If it's not clear, please let me know. Please tell me. This is clear to everyone, what I just mentioned in summarizing these three types of verbs? For now, that's all we need to know. Anything extra, anything additional, we'll take that step by step, inshallah. Any questions? Yes.
Just to comment, the word sukoon is also called jazm, and that is why we get this word majzoom.
Yes. That's why we call it majzoom, because it comes from the sukoon. Yes. That's the origin of it. So fi'l al-amr is any word. Let's look at some examples. On page 17, under heading number 3. Il'ab bil-kura. Where's the verb? Il'ab. The ending of it. What's the haraka on the ending? Sukoon. What does that indicate? What kind of verb is this? Madi, mudara, or amr? Amr. That's the sign. Il'ab bil-kura. Il'ab means play. Bil-kura, with the ball. Number 2. At'im qittak. At'im means feed. What does it end with? What kind of harakah? The sukoon. What does that indicate? Amr, imperative. At'im, feed. Qattak. What does qattak mean? Your cat. That kaf means yours. Kaf is one of the letters of possession. We'll talk about that in the future. At'im qattak. Feed your cat. Number 3. Nadhif thiyabak. Nadhif means what? Clean. What does it end with? It's not shown in the book, but what's the harakah on it? It's a sukoon. It's not nadhafa, yunadhifu. No, it's just nadhif. And you stop at the letter. That's majzoom. You have a consonant there. You have a sukoon there. Nadhif thiyabak means clean your clothes. Number 4, nam mubakkiran. How many letters is nam? 2. Why? It's kind of like qi and fi. Because what is the root word of to sleep? Sleeping in Arabic, what do you call that? Naum. The middle letter is what? A vowel. That's where it gets tricky. And that's why the vowel dropped and you just have nam, sleep. Whenever you have a vowel and you come to fi'l al-amr, the command, we'll talk about this in the future, the vowel drops. Why does the vowel drop? Because it's difficult to pronounce it. How would you say it?
Is it only in the middle of the word when you have the vowel? It doesn't matter where the vowel is?
No, see, with waqaya and wafa, we had in the beginning and end, both of them dropped. Doesn't matter. Usually, the vowel will drop. So nam means sleep. The past tense is nama. He slept. What's the harakah of nama at the end? Fatha. What does that indicate? What kind of verb has the fatha? It's the madhi, right? The past tense verb is a verb that has the fatha. Nama. Yanamu. Yanamu. What's the ending? The dhamma. What does that indicate? It's a present tense verb. Nam. What's the ending? Sukoon. What does that indicate? It's a amr. It's a command or an imperative. So that's the example here. Nam mubakkiran. What does mubakkiran mean? Early. Sleep early. Number 5. Tamahhal fi sayr. Tamahhal. What kind of vowel or harakah does it end with? Sukoon, right? That means it's a command. Tamahhal means what?
At your pace.
At your pace. Slow down. Take it easy. These are all meanings of tamahhal. So tamahhala is the past. He slowed down. He took it at his pace. Tamahhala. What does it end with? What kind of harakah? Fatha. What does that indicate? What kind of verb is that? Past tense verb, right? Because it has the fatha. Now if you want to make it mudara, present tense, yatamahhalu. Ends with what kind of harakah? Dhamma, right? Which indicates it's a mudara. Tamahhal fi sayr. What does fi sayr mean? In traffic or in driving. And the last one, ajid madghat ta'am. Ajid. What's the ending? What kind of harakah? Sukoon. This one's a little bit tricky, even for those who know Arabic. Ajid. What is the root word of that? Or make it past tense. Ajada. Yujidu. Ajid. What does ajada mean, sister? To do something well. Whenever you do something well, you say ajada. He did it well. He executed it well. So ajada, what's the ending here? Fatha. What does that indicate? Past tense verb. يجيد, he's executing it well. Or for example, you would say, أجيد English. What does that mean? I know English well. يجيد اللغة العربية. He's good in Arabic. He's well versed. These are all meanings of أجاد يجيد. So يجيد, what does it end with? What kind of vowel? Dhamma. What does that indicate? What kind of verb? Present tense. مضارع. Now, if you want to say if you want to tell someone, execute it well. It's a command. You would say أجد. أجد with a sukoon. It's majzoom. Yes, sister?
What about the word he finds?
He finds. This is why this word, it's tricky. If you want to say I find, what do you say? No, not the past. I find now. Ajidu. But ajidu ends with what? Dhamma. What does that indicate when it ends with a dhamma? It's a present tense verb. Now ajidu comes from a different word, which means to find. Wajada, yajidu, ajidu. That one is ajada, yujidu, ajid. It's a different root word. Same letters, but they're arranged differently.
فعل الأمر من يجد إذا جد حلا أو أجد حلا
أجد. Yes. أجد حلا لهذا الأمر مثلا. Whereas this one is what? Is also أجد مضغ الطعام. No, that one, sorry sister, that one is أوجد. Yes. If you want to command someone to find something, you would say أوجد. Find it. So it's different than this one, which is أجد. I know it gets a little bit tricky, but let's not confuse ourselves for now. All you need to know, at this point, all you need to know is that فعل الأمر, the imperative, which is majzoom, ends with what? A sukoon. That's all we need to know for now. Let's not confuse ourselves with anything else. So, أجد مضغ الطعام. What does مضغ mean? Chewing. طعام, food. So chew your food well. That's the meaning of أجد مضغ الطعام. So that's the imperative. So now we've briefly in Arabic discussed the three types of verbs. ماضي, the past. مضارع, the present. فعل الأمر, which is a command or imperative. Now you're familiar with these types of verbs. As complicated as it seems, it's still simple. I know Arabic is a very complex language. But at this point, all you need to know is we have these types of verbs. And now you have some basic idea how to differentiate between them. One ends with the fatha, one ends with the dhamma, one ends with what? The sukoon. That's all we need to know at this point. At this very basic level. In the future, inshallah, we'll take this step by step and we'll examine some of these different dimensions to the verbs. So don't feel discouraged. If you think, you know what, some of this is confusing, this is a lot to take in, don't be discouraged. Because at this point, we're just making ourselves familiar with the verb. We'll take this step by step, inshallah. And it becomes clearer and clearer. At this point, you just need to know that we have three types of verbs. Madi is the past. Mudara is the present. And you have fi'l al-amr, which is the imperative. As for the madi, it ends with the fatha. Mudara ends with the dhamma. Fi'l al-amr ends with the sukoon. وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين.